Indian Oil President of Finance, Mr. Eric Germain, CEO of Apsa International, Mr. Clyde Thomas, Vice President of Apsa International, members of the press, dear patients, ladies and gentlemen. We are pleased to welcome you to the Apsa Diabetes Care Center as we celebrate 15,000 foot care consultations. We are honored to have you with us this morning. Please feel at ease in our midst and enjoy this occasion. And now I would like to invite Mr. Eric Germain, CEO of Apsa International, to address you.
Mr. Indian Oil, Mr. Madul, Vice President Finance, Mr. Clyde Thomas, Vice President Apsa International, staff, dear members, friends, and members of the press. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this special event to celebrate over the 15,000 foot care consultations which took place since 2009. We are most encouraged as we look back over the progress which we've made during the past couple of years. In fact, I should tell you here that I'm reading the very speech which was prepared by the President, who was very confident that he would be there. But again, my deep apologies, he has been taken up with some unforeseen issues. In order to fully understand the magnitude of this accomplishment, I feel that it is imperative for us to look back at this global picture of who Apsa is, where it all started, and perhaps take a brief glance into what the future holds. Our vision is to lead diabetes management and health solutions through strategic education, care and support for all, offering world-class service for a diabetes-free community. Along with this vision statement, we have complementary set of mission values that we endeavor to put in practice, and these are to help the maximum number of people at risk of developing the diabetes and or associated complications using an ethical and professional approach, to bring excellence in diabetes care and management to everyone regardless of their financial status, creed and social background, to promote a positive approach through collaboration with the local community, to cooperate with trustworthy partners who have clearly defined responsibilities and share the same vision, to work as a team in association with the NGOs, local and international institutions, technical partners, and international stakeholders. Not forgetting, of course, our objectives, which help us to keep the vision and mission in focus in the day-to-day running our programs and the projects. We work to, firstly, prevent the onset of diabetes of cardiovascular disease through early detection of risk factors. Secondly, help people with diabetes to have a better quality of life and prevent complications from poorly managed diabetes. And thirdly, provide a comprehensive care approach of people with diabetes. And now just to give you a brief background of what Apsa is. Founded in 1985 and registered in 1988, Apsa International has been in the health sector in Mauritius over the 30 years. In 1994, we launched the Apsa Diabetes Club, a visitor center that offered care and follow-up services for people with diabetes in order to help them avoid further complications. Over the course of time, we put in place various programs to help with prevention and education in addition to our care and follow-up services for diabetes. In 1994 to 2009, we worked on building relationships with the Mauritian public, gaining their trust and confidence, and building towards a better future together. In line with that vision, therefore, and effort, Apsa launched the first diabetic care unit in Mauritius in June 2009. This was followed closely by the opening of the Apsa Diabetes Care Center in December 2010, which features a multidisciplinary team of health professionals dedicated to the comprehensive care of people with diabetes, and those at risk of it. Our latest project, the Apsa Food Care Caravan, was launched in 2014 with the goal of providing food assessment, education, and food care throughout the island. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many more achievements that Apsa has attained over the course of its journey in providing quality health care. These include the development of a community health education network, free public screenings, awareness campaigns and clinics in companies, opening of free diabetic food care satellite units in Cupip, Triano, and Port Louis, and last but not least, the running of a national awareness campaign each year. We are also proud to say that the experience acquired over all these years in the field of diabetes is today recognized in the region, and that as a result from this small island, we have been able to share our expertise with countries of the region, namely Burundi, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. And the World Diabetes Foundation has on this free occasion trusted us to run these important projects together with them. Our greatest joy and pride, however, is the great number of beneficiaries which we are able to reach through all the above-mentioned projects and developments. Since the opening of the Diabetes Care Center in 2010, we have been able to provide care to more than 10,000 patients with type 2 diabetes. Our food care units, whose success we are celebrating today, treat over 1,000 patients each year, 80% of whom suffer from diabetes 2 mellitus. The neuro rehabilitation program treats 60 people a year, while the nutrition workshops help 150 families each year. The number of patients treated is approximately 30 each year. We should not underestimate the damages caused by diabetes in Mauritius, and in so many families, bearing in mind that each and every day 7 people die due to the complication related to diabetes. This is why Apsa, despite obstacles and difficult circumstances that we continually have to face, we have been determined not to allow anything to stop us in our desire to serve this nation, and particularly those suffering from diabetes. Even though we have done much with the limited means we have, and despite being a small organization, we do realize that the challenge ahead of us is huge and that we must press on. Our goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to continue to grow as an organization and reach more and more beneficiaries in Mauritius and abroad. We are passionate in changing people's lives for a better and equipping them to take up their health into their own hands so that they can better manage their diabetic condition. This is why, Mr. Barbach, Mr. Madol, we highly value the contribution and commitment of Indian or Mauritius in helping us to achieve this goal. You might not be aware of how much your support and trust means to us. We hope that this will only be the beginning of a fruitful collaboration between our two bodies, and we look forward to a great future working together to great opportunities for those who are in need of such. Let us carry our fight, because we strongly believe that ensemble nous capables d'arrêter diabète, meaning together we can stop diabetes. We thank you. I thank you for your attention.
Mr. Madol, Mr. Eric Gemma, and Mr. Clyde Thomas. Dear patients, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today I want to give you a little bit of an insight to our patient care at the Food Care Center. Our primary focus is on the diabetic foot and fighting against amputation. A diabetic foot can be defined as the foot of a diabetic patient with ulcerations, infection, and/or damage of the deep tissue. Diabetic foot ulcers are common, extensive in damage, and have major complications among patients with diabetes. Most of these complications can be prevented by following a comprehensive foot care program and by applying strategic care methods. Worldwide, we face one amputation every 20 seconds. One out of 4 patients with diabetes will develop a foot ulcer in their lifetime. 50% of patients having a history of a foot ulcers is at risk to develop another foot ulcer in their lifetime. In Mauritius, 500 amputations take place per year due to diabetes, among which over 50% could have been avoided. The main causes of diabetic foot ulcers are peripheral arterial disease, neuropathy, deformity, and trauma. The impacts are high rates of disability, work absenteeism, unemployment, decreased quality of life, premature mortality, and devastated families. It costs up to 100,000 rupees for each amputation. For this reason, we want to fight against amputations through a patient-centered approach. Thanks to the interdisciplinary team working at the Foot Care Center, as more than 10,000 patients have benefited from foot assessment, which is an early identification of patients at risk. We look for loss of sensitivity, peripheral arterial disease, wounds, corns and calluses, and nail problems. They benefited from foot care as well, personalized education, and early referral to a specialist according to their needs. In 2015, we have treated more than 170 patients, as well as 43 patients with foot ulcer. Among these patients who have been compliant till the end of their care plan, 90% of them have been healed. Furthermore, we are wanting to continue to expand our services, and we hope to start some other projects in the near future, such as making personalized insoles for shoes to avoid reoccurrence of ulcers, and a global program to empower patients and families regarding diabetes management. Thank you for your support.
Bhardwaj, Managing Director of Indian Oil. Mr. Sagar Madhol, Indian Oil Vice President. Mr. Eric Germain, CEO of Apsa International. Mr. Clyde Thomas, Vice President of Apsa International. Members of the press, dear patients, good morning and thank you for being here. So, my job today is to present you our foot care center here in Apsa. A lot of you will ask why a plastic surgeon is doing foot care in Apsa. But listening to what Emmanuel said, every 15 seconds we have one amputation going in the world. And when we will see our 1 out of 5 Mauritians is suffering from diabetes, and 25% will or are high risk of developing a foot ulcer. And this foot ulcer might lead to an amputation, and we can say at least 50% would lead to an amputation if we don't take care of it. So, listening to these big values, high values, and I decided to, when I came back to Mauritius, let's do something for this diabetic patient. Now, what is happening? I'm waiting for the presentation because it's much better to show you some pictures rather than speaking. Yeah. Anyway, like Manu said, there are two why we develop diabetic foot. There are two main reasons. Yeah. So Yannick, my assistant, will help me. Yannick. So these are the figures, the statistics that Manu just said. Yeah. 1 of 5 Mauritian population above 30 years old is suffering from diabetes, and this makes us one of the highest prevalence of diabetes in the world. So 25% will develop a foot ulcer, and actually 25% of the diabetic population will undergo an immediate amputation. What is much more scary that after an amputation, at least 75 will die after 5 years. This doesn't mean that they will die, but that's the statistic. Not only because of diabetic foot, but all of the other complications that they have in diabetes. And if they have amputation on one leg, there's a risk of 50% risk that they will have amputation on the second leg also. So, next slide, Yannick. Well, Manu just defined you what we mean a diabetic foot. A diabetic foot is a foot pathology that is resulting directly from diabetes or the long-term complication of diabetes. Remember that diabetics doesn't affect only foot. We have long-term damage and dysfunction and failure of various organs, especially the eyes, the kidney, the nerves, and the vessels, the heart. Next slide, please. So that's what we were trying to tell you, that the two main pathomechanism of developing a diabetic foot is we have the angiopathy. Angio means vessel, yeah, where our vessels are affected, together with other comorbidities like obesity, smoking, sedentary life, okay? And the other big part is what we call angiopathy, where when our nerves are affected, yeah? Everybody know this, diabetes, pain à sensation, there's no sensation, but diabetes doesn't affect only sensation, it affects everything in our nervous system, okay? So, next slide, please. So you will see, I try to be less graphic that I can. These are different types of foot that we have in diabetes. So what makes us come here and see our job, preventing from going from here to here. This what we do in Apsa, what we do in our prevention program. So everybody knows prevention is better than cure. So we, in Apsa, we have, you can see here, 4 essentials of preventing diabetic foot ulcer, but I added one more because we go an extra mile in Apsa. We have 5 essentials of preventing this ulcer. Patient education, which started here also, but not only here with our patient, we go outside, okay? And the next slide, this is one of my favorite slides. Next slide, Yannick, is we are here, we go outside. We go outside with our van, okay, going to remote areas of the island. Here we are in Port Louis, in the remote suburban areas of Port Louis, called Cannes-Yolof. And we try to group everybody, all these small poor areas around Port Louis, Rochebois, Cité-la-Cure, Vallée-Pitot, Cannes-Yolof, and try to give awareness of diabetic foot to these low socio-economic areas. Next slide, please. Now, we, again, back. At Apsa, apart from patient education, we have our foot care and toenail care and contact teeth, where these are done by our podiatrists. A very good team of podiatrists that take care of these. Normally we have education. This is new. It's new, but that's why I added what we have. Unfortunately, I don't see with Kiran here. So, giving back sensation to a patient who lost sensation, this is a very difficult process, and we do it. We do it here with simple methods. Simple methods. We have maybe next time we present our result, how these patients regain back their sensibility. So once you have a patient without sensibility, without sensation, this patient is at high risk because he will walk outside, walk on small rocks, get a wound. He will not know just after 3 days when it's already infected. Okay. So, next slide, please. These are the a location where people get foot ulcers. And our job in the prevention, our podiatrists, our nurse, they look for these areas which are high risk and inform their superiors, the doctors, the nurse, the chief nurse, so that we can prevent these wounds happening. Next slide, please. Now, treatment. We don't do miracle in Apsa. We don't do miracle. But what are the keys? You heard our success. 90% of our patients who are compliant, they heal. Okay. This is our key. This is our secret. It's a multidisciplinary approach, and we do it. Maybe the patients here, they don't know. After you leave, every month, or at least twice a month, doctors, nurse, psychologists, dietitian, all of the group, we meet every month, twice a month, and discuss the cases. Believe me, we are the only ones that do it here in Mauritius. Believe me. Okay? This is the now the next big thing that we thank to God we met 2.5 years ago, and the contact between me and Mrs. Pandu and Emmanuel Azo, because we were thinking of the same frequency. Why? Because before, if you can see the gentian violet dressing that is used everywhere, okay, and then on the other side, these are the new types of wound dressing that we use. It's a very expensive dressing, but the results are very good. Changing from old to new is not a very easy step, but having the result that we are getting, and we are using this new approach to heal diabetes. Not only diabetes, we have all kind of what we call non-healing wounds that we treat here in Apsa. Next slide. Now, what are the new? It's not my purpose for you to describe the new types of dressing, but remember, Mr. Zo and Apsa was the first to use VAC therapy in Mauritius, and now at that time it was very, very expensive, and thank God companies, they decrease their prices, and these are becoming more and more available to patients. With this, we're not doing miracle. We are doing. I will just show you one picture. I hope it's not too graphic. Next slide, please. This is a normal. It's still graphic, yeah. So this is what we have patients with diabetes, yeah. After operation, this patient will need operation. This is next slide, please. On one side, you see, it's very graphic, but it's very beautiful. And on the other side, the patient is completely healed after 2 weeks, after 2 months. Okay? So using these new technologies in Apsa, we are able to make the wound healing faster. Okay? Next slide, please, Yannick. Now, treatment, prevention we do, treatment we do, what is next? What is on the next level? Okay? There is the international workforce group on diabetic foot, which describe diabetic foot care in 3 levels. We have the first level, which are screening, identifying, and stratifying high-risk patients. This is what we do now. We are second level, treatment and diagnostic, and here we're stopped. Going to third level, which become highly specialized unit within surgical intervention, revascularization. This is our dream, to go from the second level to third level. And stopping here to thank Indian Oil for their support to us, and maybe with your continuous support, our dream will come true. Now, bringing new therapies, we all know about stem cells everywhere. Stem cell is going is fashion. We are bringing in the near future PRP and cell therapy. in and stem cell therapy in Apsa, so that to increase the healing time, decreasing the healing time, so that patient can go back to the normal work as soon as possible. Next, please. Now, this is ABC. ABC make me remember. It's mine. I did it. A for advanced wound healing, advanced wound therapy that we use in Apsa. B is the bonding. Bonding means this multidisciplinary approach that we have. We communicate with each other, nurse with doctors, doctors with nurse, with patient, but also this bonding between staff and patient. Compassion and empathy that we have for our patient. And C is compliance. Compliance of the patient. You can have the best doctors in the world, you can have the best dressing in the world, best center, but if your patient are not compliant, you won't get results. If your patient is not taking care of his glycemia, is eating, drinking, he's not taking care of his dressing, he's going out in the rain, he's not coming for his dressing, you will not get results. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for this small presentation.
Sinon j'aurais
I
pu
was
le
told to
faire.
do it in English, otherwise I would have done it.
Mais quand j'ai découvert que j'avais le diabète, c'est en 1994.
So in 1994, when I discovered that I was diabetic,
C'était par un jeu.
It
Le
was-
médecin où je travaille
It was
avait
just
apporté
it
un
just-
appareil.
Then-
Alors il m'a dit, allons checker, allons checker. J'avais peur.
And just my doctor where I was working, he just asked me, like, as if we were just playing, let's just have a checkup, let's have a checkup.
Mais quand il a regardé, j'ai été choquée.
But when he saw it, I was quite shocked.
Parce qu'il me dit, tu es diabétique.
Because
J'ai dit, c'est pas possible.
He told me that I'm diabetic, and I told him it's not possible
Parce que je suis l'aînée d'une famille de 4 enfants.
because I'm the firstborn of a family of 4 children,
Maman et papa n'avaient pas de diabète,
and my father and my mother had no diabetes,
mais les 4 enfants ont hérité.
but the 4 children had inherited the diabetes. I've got that diabetes.
Mais à ce moment-là, j'ai pris ça, je me suis dit c'est une réalité, il faut vivre avec,
And at that particular time, I said, it's a reality. I would love to live with that.
et c'est pas une fatalité.
And it's not a fatality.
Mais les amis m'ont dit, ben, à ce moment-là, j'ai été surcomprimée, patati patata, j'ai fait 5 fois coma profond.
At that particular time, I was on medication, and I've gone through 4 coma.
C'est à ce moment-là qu'on m'a dit qu'il fallait passer par insuline.
And then we started insulin treatment.
Mais malgré ça aussi, je me suis plongée dans le coma.
Even that, I had another coma.
Mais heureusement
But fortunately,
que mon époux,
that my husband,
qui, enfin, de temps en temps, c'est ce qu'il faut, il regarde comment je vais, si je suis glacée ou si je vais bien.
fortunately, my husband will come and check on me regularly.
Et à ce moment-là, il appelle mon fils, il dit,
And then
viens
he will-
regarder maman.
And then he will call my son and say, come and check on your mom.
Et quand mon fils vient, il me dit, maman est dans le coma.
And when my son came, he said, but mom is in coma.
À ce moment-là, SAMU, les ambulances, tous
Then
les médecins
SAMU,
qui viennent,
ambulance, everybody, the doctor came.
on met le drip,
Then we had the drip,
on me
inserted the
ramène à
drip,
moi. Il y a des
and
fois, je
bring me
passe
back.
une semaine à l'hôpital.
And there are times that I will spend 1 week at the hospital,
Et après, je retourne, mais
and then I will come back,
ça continue.
and it will continue again.
Mais une amie m'avait dit, ben, pourquoi tu ne vas pas chez Apsa?
And then my friend spoke and told me, why don't you go to Apsa?
J'ai été quand j'étais à Cuapip,
When Apsa was in Chopip, I went there.
mais après, avec le travail et tout, j'ai arrêté.
But then with my job and everything, I stopped.
Mais là, quand le coma me poursuivait trop,
But then when
je
seeing
suis retournée vers
I'm
Apsa.
going in coma frequently, then I came back to Apsa.
Mais après, j'ai eu un entorse, on a enlevé mon petit orteil.
Then I had a sprain and they have removed my little toe.
Et on avait Le médecin à l'hôpital n'avait que plâtré sans faire adieu et rien.
The
Et c'est
doctor
pourquoi.
put a plaster of Paris without doing an X-ray.
Et un mois après,
And 1 month after that,
un stand de lavabo
that the lavabo stand
tombe sur mon pied gauche.
fell on my left foot.
À ce moment-là, l'orteil commençait à grossir.
Then the toe started to become bigger and bigger.
Mais quand j'étais à l'hôpital, on m'a dit qu'il fallait, à la clinique,
Then I
on m'a
went
dit
to the
qu'il
private
fallait
clinic.
amputer.
They told me that it should be amputated.
On fait les soins, on
So they
prend,
were doing the
mais
care.
mon diabète était 2,3.
But my diabetes was 2.3 millimole.
Impossible de m'opérer.
Impossible to operate on
Et
me.
à ce moment-là, on a fait péridurale.
So they did peridural.
On m'a opéré, mais
They
là,
operated on me.
il me fallait porter des chaussures orthopédiques.
Then I had to wear orthopedic shoes.
Et comme j'ai beaucoup d'activités, quand les enfants me regardent,
As I
on me
have lots
dit,
of
Miss,
activities.
tu portes chaussures handicapées.
And my children, they just tell me, but Miss, you are wearing these shoes like the handicapped person.
J'ai dit, je ne suis pas handicapée.
But I said, I'm not
Pour
handicapped.
pour leur donner confiance,
So that I
j'ai
can-
dit, je suis une majorette, une pom-pom girl.
I said, I'm not handicapped. I'm a majorette, a pom-pom girl.
Et il y en a même qui m'ont demandé de leur faire avoir des chaussures comme ça.
And there are some of them said, we would like to have shoes like this.
Mais à ce moment-là, une amie me dit, va, je vais prendre un rendez-vous pour toi chez Apsa,
Then-
où tu as déjà été, tu viens.
Then my
Mais
friend said, I
quand,
will go and take an appointment for you at Apsa.
mais quand je suis venue, c'est avec beaucoup d'assurance que j'ai retrouvé la joie de vivre, qui a effacé beaucoup de conseils, beaucoup de gentillesse. On m'a gâté comme un bébé.
When I came, like I found my assurance again. I was welcome. I was spoiled, and I started to live again, to be happy again.
Et je vous tiens un grand merci.
And I would like to say thank
Et à
you.
tout le monde, je peux vous dire,
everybody.
on me prend comme un bébé, un bébé.
They are taking care of me like as if I'm a baby.
Mais je suis très contente.
I'm so happy.
J'ai retrouvé ma joie de vivre.
I found back my joy to live.
Je vous remercie.
I thank you. Thank you. Such a pleasure.
Mr. Eric Germain, Mr. Clyde Thomas, Miss Emmanuel, Dr. Abbas, ma'am, media professionals present here, my young team from Indian Oil, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, wish you a very good morning once again. The testimony of the lady just before me, she spoke. It tells so many things. Probably she has spoken only few minutes, but it gives you a completely different picture of whatever activities that you guys are doing. So at the outset, let me first say my deep appreciation of this noble endeavor that you are involved in. Apsa, hats off to you, you're doing a wonderful job. I also take this opportunity to compliment and congratulate you of having achieved some significant number of having some 15,000 plus foot care consultations in a short span of time. 2009, Mr. Emmanuel was saying that 2009 onwards they have achieved this number, and the improvement that is taking place. See, initially you start an activity, it's for the benefit of the people, you expect that people will come to you. Later on, the next level is that you take it to the closest to the people who need it, and that is the activity that you are doing through your caravan. So it's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, what I feel is that any society, a civilized society, the true reflection of a civilized society is that how it treats, how sensitively it treats its own people who need some help or support, whatever way. And you can call a society truly civilized only if it treats them with care, it treats them with sensitivity. And that's the most important thing. And in whatever way, people have a lot of, people may be disabilities, people need special care, even elderly people. So if we have in us to be sensitive towards their needs and try to do something, it's really laudable. And we wish that more and more such endeavors, they get into shape and start moving. So wonderful, hats off to you guys. You're doing a wonderful job. And we are really very happy, very proud to be associated with you in whatever way we do. As a company, in Mauritius, we are quite young. We are there for last about 15 years. We have achieved some success here with the help of all you people here. We are, in terms of turnover, we are the 9th largest company in the island, and in petroleum sector, we are the 2nd largest company. So that has been possible with the help and support of all Mauritian people. As a corporate, we know that there are certain responsibilities, and we try our best. Always we have been trying our best to do whatever little bit we can do in that. As a company, we have been involved in certain CSR activities related to patient cares, like in cancer. We are also involved in some CSR activities into education sector. And we are indeed very happy to now be involved with Apsa. And I am sure this partnership will grow further and in more ways than only the resource part of it. We would like to help and do our bit in more ways. I don't want, the way these statistics have been presented, and as Dr. Abbas, he has shown those, the kind of problems which are there. So I'm sure a lot of effort is required further to take it to higher levels, as he's saying, level 3 and all. I'm sure with the kind of dedication and hard work and commitment that you guys have, definitely we'll achieve much better results and much better care for the needy people. I wish all the very best to each one of you, and I commit all support that we can give. Me and my team here, I have a team of all young professionals. So apart from doing the CSR activities, physically also we'd like to contribute our bit in doing whatever can be done from our side. We will be in touch with Mr. Emmanuel and try to do some more. All the best to you. I'm sure you will make the society a better place, a better thing to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bajraj. Your support means a lot to us. And it's as if I was just thinking, is that like a voice shouting in the wilderness, but you've heard us. Thank you.
I think I ought to do before delivering the speech of the President, which I'm doing now. I wish to extend, in fact, Audrey Hardy is the President and the founder of Apsa International, and she was really looking forward to be there with us. But due to her traveling today and other matters, acute problem cropping up, she has not been able to be with us. So she has asked me to convey her deep apologies to every one of you. But she is knowing the importance of our relationship with you, with Indian Oil. She will make it a point upon her return in some weeks to take an appointment with you and to visit Mr. Balwaj, Mr. Madol at your office in Saportis. Again, this lady had the vision of Apsa back in 1985, and if we are here today, it's just for her. Thank you again. Right, okay, the next step, I'm taking the place of the MC here, is to invite you to take a tour. We will now make a tour to see our setup, and then we will be back in about 10 minutes here. Thank you.
Director of Indian Oil Mauritius, Mr. Sagar Madul, the Vice President Finance of Indian Oil Mauritius, Mr. Eric Germain, the CEO of Apsa, our partner, active and dedicated, Dr. Abbas, colleagues of Managing Director, Managing that committee, members of the staff of the Apsa team, members of the press, distinguished friends of the association, good morning from my part. It's a nice job to do than to come after seeing all these scenes and pictures, just to say thank you. And it's a real honor for me to address a word of thanks to the initiatives and generosity of Mr. Banraj and his management team for the contribution to support the efforts of the Apsa team. The success of a company like Indian Oil, who has been the top 100 largest companies in the 500 World Fortune back in 2014, I'm sure that in 2015 we'll get the result that you've been maintaining and progressing, resides also in the way they want to leave a legacy, wherever they invest, and they play an active and important role in the life of our Mauritian nation. We believe that it is imperative that we unite our efforts and work together to find care solutions that can benefit the diabetic patient. By successfully putting in place programs that offer foot assessment, preventive care for corns, nails, foot care, education, we can play a part in helping to reduce the number of lives destroyed by diabetic complications. Hence, the generous donation given by Indian Oil Mauritius will help further the cause of the foot care program, raising the number of resources, consultations, and eventually foot care patients successfully treated. Thank you again in believing in our actions and dedications to the well-being of the Mauritian families. We hope it's just the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship between Apsa and Indian Oil Mauritius. Thank you for your attention.